Now this next question is a mouthful, and I'm looking forward to your answer.
Oh my goodness.
If you could describe in detail a particular scenario or incident and how you use your philosophy of leadership, do you have one or two that maybe you could offer out?
You know, there's so many. You know, I
Sure.
talked a little bit about the Task Force on Expanded Gaming, and I think it could be one of my good points, it could be one of my bad points, is I tend to throw myself wholeheartedly and want to know everything about an issue.
Okay.
And so I think that was paid off for me in that instance very well, because I became pretty much an expert on casino gaming and expanded gaming, which
Even if
I
maybe
really
you didn't want to be, right.
I really had very little experience in it. And I think, you know, I do use humor a lot to diffuse situations. And there were very many instances during that whole process when tempers were a little, you know, there's a lot at stake, and a lot of people's political, you know, the governor had run on that issue. There are people in the House that were very much invested in it. You had the Senate president was very much against it. And I think because I was able to kind of not make it personal, keep a sense of humor about it, and keep people focused on what our real goal was. And our real goal was, if we're going to change this policy, let's do it the best that we can for the people of Kentucky.
This might be a little unfair question, but do you find politicians by and large have a good sense of humor when they're trying to get stuff put through, or what's your experience there as an insider?
I think it kind of depends on the individual legislator.
Okay.
I think sometimes when things get tense, if there's at least one person at the table that can kind of break the ice and bring everybody back to what you're really there, because sometimes it does get personal. It's not supposed to, but sometimes it does.
It's the nature of man, I
there
guess.
are some situations where you lose the focus on what the goal is. The goal is not just to win.
Right.
The goal is to, in the legislative field, is to get the best possible policy for the state of Kentucky. So sometimes if someone can use a little bit of humor, and I have like really dark humor sometimes.
That might not be a bad thing.
You know, it's not a bad thing, you know. It's learning to use it appropriately.
Okay.
But sometimes it can, you know, everyone will stop and laugh, and then it kind of like, okay, what are we really here for?
Right.
And I think that's, you know, I think, you know, you use all of your talents to the best.
I got you. All right.